who is in 12-step recovery. I've been repeating myself in each of the previous recordings about religious or not. So I can just ask you, if you've not heard any of the previous ones, 1 through 7, I'd ask you to go ahead and listen to one of them to hear my lead into this, because the videos are getting kind of long and I don't want you to have to sit through repetitive material. The definition of religion that I found in a 1934 Webster's dictionary, which was current when the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous was written in the same period of time. The word religion had quite a long definition. I will repeat that. It says religion is the service and adoration of God or a God as expressed in forms of worship, in obedience to divine commands, especially as found in accepted sacred writings or as declared by recognized leaders, and in the pursuit of a way of life regarded as incumbent on true believers. Now, that's a long definition. I won't reread it. You're welcome to read it yourself at TwelveDrawings.com. I wanted to talk about the drawing that was inspired by the definition I found. The definition in 1934 about teachers, and again, back in the religious definition, it said forms of worship in obedience to commands as declared by recognized teachers, and in pursuit of a way of life. So I looked up the word teacher. It says one who makes to know how. And I cast about, there are different forms of teaching, and it could be someone at the head of a class teaching people how to use grammar books and things like that. I really was inspired to go a different direction with it. I really wanted to go to a time in my imagination, and only in my imagination. This is absolutely not historically correct. It's not culturally correct. It's not factually correct. It's not, anatomically correct. But in my imagination, I wanted to go to a time when things were being taught, one who makes to know how. I wanted to show a time when knowledge was being passed from person to person, and it was done in a very personal way. So my question in here, you can see, I hope it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got an elder who is giving instructions to a rising generation of young people in how to do something that the elder obviously knows how to do and the younger person wants to learn how to do. And it's in the line of hunting bison. But there's not much more backstory than that. None of this is, none of these artifacts are correct in any way, but they're just fantasy imagination, with my apologies to any cultures I've appropriated. But the point is, the definition in 1934 was one who makes to know how. So my question then is, in the 12-step tradition, are there teachers? Are there ones who make to know how? And I would say there's a strong tradition of sponsors who do get together with sponsees, as we call them, and go through the 12-step literature or the 12-step process. Again, maybe it's in writing, maybe neither one of them can read. They could still go through the 12 steps. So there is a tradition. There is a history. I do recognize this happening in 12-step groups. So that argues in favor of 12-step groups having some aspects of this definition of religion that came from Webster's 1934 dictionary. You're welcome to find more by looking at TwelveDrawings.com. Thanks for listening.